in time, because his 4K TV and everything else, or his TV out in his main part of the house, we recorded a couple of football games, so he wanted to be able to watch them and stuff. So what I have to do at the moment, because I was going to try and just directly convert the files over using Neuro Video, but that didn't work. So what I need to actually do is get the files in question that put together the whole thing, import them into my video editor, which shouldn't take that long, depending on the situation, of course. There is a few files there. So what I need to do, put it into the video editor, then I need to pretty much make a file that is a good format for doing video editing with Neuro, which is kind of annoying that I have to do that, but because I've got a DVD, because I want to make a DVD video or DVD project, basically. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the entire file, I'm going to make it into one big file with all the files together, all the video files themselves, if it imports correctly. Just see as a task manager to see if my performance tab is okay. And it looks okay. So at this point, I just have to convert these files over, which files aren't that. I mean, that's a 2-hour file there. That's total of files. There's 8 gigabytes worth of files there. So I'm just going to convert them all over, make them into one big file with a certain compression ratio and things like that. And what I'm going to do after I've done that is then I'm going to put them into the Neuro editor, and I'm going to create a timeline for the DVD and everything else, and create myself basically a I don't know, I might have to use a dual layer DVD, just depends, I don't know. Anyway, basically I'm just going to copy the football game over, and I'm going to convert it. At this point it's going to be converted into a different file format, which is just a file format that will work better with this in general, because this is not a bad program. I've never had any major problems with Neuro, if I can get all these files to import. Mind you, it could be the fact that they're just particular file formats, I guess. It's just the way the TV records it, I guess, specifically down to it. It's the way that most likely the TV records it that is the issue. Most of that stuff, because I've got a portable hard drive that my dad has on his which is this one here. It's a 150 gigabyte hard drive. It's not a bad little hard drive, to be honest. I don't mind it anyway. It's just a basic was it like a Seagate? No, not Seagate. It's a Western Digital 160 gig hard drive that I've had lying around for yonks, and I basically use it for TV recordings and if I want to put shows and stuff from the internet on my dad's computer, which, that's cool. It's something I like doing, to be honest, so at this point it's just taking forever to import. I don't know, normally it depends. If it's a specific format, like say it's something like that I've actually is done and suited for the internet, it'll work fine. Because I think most of this stuff that they do, especially with the recordings and stuff, it's all a raw format sort of thing to be able to record it on other things. So there's a couple of movies and stuff on there, but what the hell's in here? I actually didn't check. Oh, that's Gem. Okay. Oh, that's from the old TV. Okay. Alright, that's fine. So that's actually from the old TV, which is the same format anyway, sort of format anyway. I could probably clear... to be honest, I could probably clear some of that space out, because those are really old files. I don't really need those anymore. Fuck it. I'm just going to delete that folder. Delete that, and no point in trying to keep all that crap. That 36 gig worth of space there, and I'll give it back a fair bit of space on there. Most stuff Dad watches on Netflix these days because we've now got faster internet, so that's a plus side. I used to convert a lot of stuff over from him. I used to put a lot of stuff on this USB specifically so you could watch it. Just going to delete those as well because they're old. They're really old files. So what do we got? That's mostly that stuff. So there we go. We're just converting it over. For the moment, it's got a little thing, as you can see, you get SmartWave or SmartWare or whatever that is. That's a very specific thing. So there we go, 100%. Right. So what I'm going to do with that is it's the 2-hour one. I'm pretty sure. Let me just check and make sure that I've got the right files for this. What the hell is going on my screen? Weird. Hold on a minute. My screen just flickered for some reason. It's kind of curious. So, sorry, I do apologise. I just had to adjust the screen then. Okay. So, let's see here. Shit down here. I just want to make sure that I'm getting this right because I'm pretty sure that's the first file. Start of the game, yeah. Okay, so that's right. So now what I need to do, grab the start file, just convert it over. It's kind of weird, I was defocused from that. Mind you, I'm doing streaming at the moment, so it's probably going to slow things down a little bit when I'm doing certain encoding bits and pieces. So. 2 hours worth of length. There we go. Right, now there we go. Grab that file. Tie it all together. Tie that one together. And so basically just, snippet the files together so they all line up with each other correctly. So that's alright. That's about good amount of footage anyway. So what I want to do is from the video editing, then I go into produce, and I want to sort of have it in the best possible format for the purposes of what I'm doing. So what I'll probably end up doing, is it going to work? It's still coding a bit. There we go. Okay. So then we go here. So what do we want? 1080p, which I'm going to go for that most likely. Actually, MP4 format is always the better format because it generally is a looser format and it just works better. Actually, that's more of an internet format, so maybe 60. MP4 should be okay. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I mean, as long as it works. 25p. MP4 is always the best I've found so far anyway. So we'll say it at 1080p because that's pretty much the native resolution that was at. I'm pretty sure that the actual file size of that is 1080p. I'll just make sure it is, but I'm pretty sure. Oh, 720. What is... okay. That's curious. I mean, it plays back on the TV fine anyway, but formatting's kind of curious on that. So what I might do is I'll start that off anyway, do the hardware encoding part of it. Obviously everything goes into my YouTube, so... Football. That's football. Yeah, I'll just save that. And then we'll start a convergence, which that's just start going through it anyway. To produce the movie, it shouldn't take that long. Shouldn't logically take that long anyway. So yeah, that's those files there. I might actually close this one because I don't need to open right now until I convert the file over. So another one's close some of my chat stuff and close my other one. I might close Netflix because I was watching Netflix before. And yeah, no, it's good actually. That's good. So that's probably going to take a little while to convert over. It's a priority of most of this stuff anyway. Close. Close. And maybe close a few of my tabs, just so it doesn't weigh the system down too much. I have got a lot open in tabs at the moment, so... should be alright. There we go. Check out my... yeah, okay, so that should be okay now. So, yeah, I'm just converting that over at the moment. At this point, which should not take that long, to be honest. I don't see it taking that long at the end of it. So, yeah, okay, so at this point I'm just going to let that convert. Once that file is converted over, I will then run Neuro DVD to be able to create myself a DVD of it, basically. Oh, fucking spam. Spam, I'm so sick of spam. Fuck you, spam. Most of the other stuff anyway, punishing stuff, yeah, fuck off. Fuck, do I keep on getting fucking spam? Oh my god. That one's okay. And that one is a scam as well. There's another one. Archive. Data retention stuff. Fuck's sake. So I'm just going to go and empty that and delete it. Delete. I'm just going to empty my recycling bin inside my webmail, so that way I haven't got crap in there. Crap that's accumulated anyway. So, anyway, it's going to convert that over. That's great. Once I've converted that over, I will then create a DVD for my dad, which probably won't take that. I mean, it shouldn't take that long. I don't see it taking that long. Hopefully, all my DVD burners are working. I'm hopeful. I'm pretty sure that at least one of them would be working because they all seem to be to a certain degree functional anyway. Worst case scenario is that I have to purchase myself a new one. Or I have to use the bottom one because it's most of them anyway. The reason I don't have any particular working DVD burners and stuff like that these days is because I don't always need them. They're not always required, especially in this internet day and age. Particularly when it comes to being able to do certain things, you know. I just want to see. I'm curious because I've never tested these burners, whether they actually burn CDs or not. I grab them off the shelf and That's normally when I go through the testing process, I'll actually test them beforehand. It's probably something I'm probably gonna be more likely doing stuff like that in the future, which is testing things like that to see whether they actually function. The burning function of everything else. So, I mean, it's not a major concern. I have got a portable DVD player plug-in via USB if these ones don't work. So, that work? Did that work? That's a good question. Alright. The question that it did work, so it does see the DVD, that's great. So I got a blank DVD in there now. That's perfect. So I'm going to wait for that to finish. This is still producing, so this is, I don't know, it might take, depending on the, I mean, there is about probably 2, 3, 4 hours worth of video there, so yeah, probably about 3 or 4, roughly around 3, maybe 3 hours worth of video in total there to convert. So, you know, I'm going to expect it to be, what's the word I'm looking for here? I'm going to expect it to take a little while to be finished, but it shouldn't take that long, logically. So I'm just going to close this, open up my tabs, other ones anyway. I'll relaunch my browser at some point, I guess. Something I could do. So once I've done that, I'm going to be using Neuro Video, which is, I think it's 2015. What version of, I think it's, what version of Neuro is this? That's a good question. I'm just going to minimize that for a second. It's 2016, sorry. I know the latest version was 2016. I bought that a while back. So I'm going to use that. I'm going to use Neuro to make the DVD. Basically, I mean, it doesn't have to be a fancy DVD. I just want to, you know, it's basically just recorded football, because my dad wanted my uncle to see the football because he missed it a few days ago. Because my dad said, "Can you put the TV on order or record?" And I said, "Yeah, no problem. I can do that." So at this point in time, not too bad. So let's see. Producing movie, 8%. So let's see what that does anyway. So let's see. Just checking some of my network status stuff. I am. Oh, not my networking anyway. But my network. My router's been running pretty well so far, so I'm pretty impressed with that. Fuck. Where'd you get the fucking password wrong? Fuck! Just been keeping an eye on the network and stuff. There's some mapping and everything else. It's not too bad. The load on the network's not too bad. It's 19% CPU load on the new dual core processor that's built into the system. Memory usage is good on the router. No, these things all seem pretty good at the moment. Checked the emails earlier. I went to sleep for a while because I was pretty tired earlier. I always have my nights reversed, especially when it's like, oh, I go to sleep during the day for a bit and then fucking wake up at night. 10%. Mind you, I am doing a lot in the background at the moment, so that could be something. I mean, I'm doing there we go. I'm doing a lot in the background. I'm encoding everything else and doing the streaming in between that, so that's probably stressful on my CPU a little bit. So let me what have I got this set to? That's a good question. To Twitch. Let's go to Twitch and YouTube, which x84. I'll just use my CPU for that, and this can't be changed while you're recording. Okay. Hold on a second. What I might do is I'm just going to switch out for a second from YouTube. So that's kind of interesting. I just wanted to see if everything was working correctly. Seems to be. Right, so at the moment I'm just adjusting. At this point in time, I'm just doing some hardware encoding and stuff. So, I mean, it'd probably be better if I turned a few things off in between that. I might admit I don't really need to turn off this moment, but. So 14%. So that's 14% at the moment. I am doing video encoding at the moment, so that's probably going to weigh the system down a little bit. In between doing video encoding, I'm doing a bunch of other stuff as well. So let me just check my CPU usage. Should be okay. My CPU usage is maxed at the moment, so it's kind of interesting. I am streaming across 3 sites live, so that's most likely what's happened, but it's always going to add to it anyway. So I'm just going to wait for that to finish. Once that is finished, should be okay. %, not too bad so far, no complaints there. A few things running in the background, let me see here. It's pretty cool. The CPU's temperature's not too bad, or my water cooling's not running too bad, which is the main thing. So, close. I'm pretty sure I'm going to close the tabs specifically for things that I'm doing, unless, and let me just refresh this page. I'll just refresh my YouTube page. I'm not going to be on the chat. I'm just going to be on the only to the chat for other things anyway. So anyway, basically the project, or the entire thing that I had to do for my dad was, at this point, was just basically record the football. As you can see, I've got 2, 3. So I've still got to do. I'm doing the first set of stuff, which is going to take a while. I mean, it might take a while because I don't know, these files They're pretty much, I think they're a combination of raw formats anyway. In total, it was about 8 gigabytes worth of size. That's 3 gigabytes. That's it's like 900 and something. That is. So it's got 19 gigabytes remaining. So it's actually going to be about 19 gig. Wow, that's a big file. Produced. That would probably explain why it's running so slow, because this is going to be a big freaking file. Mind you, is a lot of stuff there, so reduced into MP4, which is high quality format and everything else. So yeah, that's most likely what the case is. But it's kind of weird. This file. What resolutions does it say it's actually on? Because I'm guessing, just from what I'm seeing, that it doesn't actually record in full 1080p when you're doing stuff like that. It's a bit stupid the TV does that, but apparently the TV doesn't record in 1080p. That's kind of curious. I didn't realise that. Is it going to work? Or is it encoding the files at the moment? Probably. Okay, so what the hell? That's kind of weird. Okay, let me close that. Okay, let me open the task manager. That obviously is frozen. Obviously it's frozen. Let me just kill. What's the fucking name of it? Let me kill the fucking thing. So it's 99% CPU usage. Mind you, I am trying to do a lot of encoding at the same time, so that could be related to it. Alright. What the actual fuck? Shite. Shyster. Okay. So let me see here. I'm just gonna